Hey everybody, it's Moonhorse again. Coming in just before this video with a little bit of information. We're talking about the University of Utah healthcare program. A friend of mine is not doing well and needs you guys, if you can, to look into this program, donate if you can, help out if you can. They're looking for, donations, people who can do live kidney transplants, the whole thing. This is a very good cause, and it's very, very important. So if you guys have anything you can do to help, or any way that you can help at all, please do. It would mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to everybody. It's not just me. It's about everybody. Everybody's in this together, so we should all put together to actually do something. Like, if you're interested, or you have any way that you can possibly get in touch with this, or if you're in the area and you can do something to help out, you can contact them at uofulivingdonor.org. Or you can contact them at the phone number 801-587-8816. If you're interested in helping my friend specifically, when you get through to somebody or you're talking to somebody, ask for Corinne C. Powell. That's who needs the help right now. It's this person who asked me to kind of help out, not just for her, but for everybody. So if you want to help out, you want to contribute to a good cause, you want to do something good, really help these people out. They could use it. Alright, so now on with the show. Welcome back again, my friends and lovers. I don't actually have a name for you guys. We'll worry about that later. Right now, we're reading a story. And what we're reading is more from the Final Fantasy VII house. This is Mela's experiences. The summary is worrying. So here we go. Mela's story. The following is a series of emails I exchanged with Mela, who lived with them for a time. She eventually kicked them out of her house, but her story blows mine out of the fucking water. So I'm going to read the dates as I read these, because there's like a date for each one. This should also kind of tell you what, year a lot of this took place in. So this is from November 15th, 2005. Hi, I'm that chick from California that shows up from time to time on your site, and I figured I'd talk to you for a bit, as I'm pretty fed up with Jen myself, and kicked her out of my house a couple months ago. My AIM and Yahoo Messenger are both omitted, but yeah, get in touch. Oh, excuse me. November 16th, 2005. I met Jen at a boarding school in Utah. We got along pretty well because Jen was known as that crazy girl who thinks she's a vampire, and I was that crazy girl who thinks she's a space alien. I wanted to meet up with her after the program, and I kept looking around on the internet until I came across this list of information on Jen that started with, "You don't look like Integra is Asian." There's a whole lot of stuff about Jen from what I saw. I could identify this as being the Jen I knew from Utah. So I contacted the person who wrote that description, and she directed me to Renee. From Renee to Jen. Jen said she'd been looking everywhere for me, which I found really unlikely, as I was online at classmates.com, and all she would have had to do was pay like $15 to subscribe, and Jen would have unlimited access to my contact info. I should have known about their financial state. When I found out that at no time over the course of 2 years did Jen have enough money to subscribe to this service. I guess she didn't really care that much about finding me, although when we talked, she made a big deal about how she looked for me. I came to visit for 2 weeks after a short vacation with my parents, as it meant that my airfare was much cheaper that way. Things went peachy from that time period, except for a couple of bad signs I wish I would have noticed. Angel was extremely jealous of me, and constantly paranoid that I would take Jen away from her. This is not an irrational fear, as Angel did take Jen away from Renee. I wasn't sexually interested in Jen, Angel, or Renee. All of them were much heavier than the people I'm usually attracted to. Jen was constantly bragging about how they were all losing weight. I saw no noticeable weight loss the whole time I knew them. But Jen was constantly pestering me to tell her about how skinny she was. At 200 pounds, no one is skinny. Or how good she was at DDR, or how she was working out all the time. Jen managed to weasel up to $2,000 out of me over the course of 2 weeks. Jesus. I didn't realize how much it was adding up until I got the credit card bill the next month. All of her spending seemed completely rational. I noticed something while I stayed there that Jen didn't own a single pair of scissors, or a microwave, or a toaster, or any other normal things, but she did have a horribly extensive doll and crystal collection, along with lots of expensive jewelry. Jen just had no idea how to spend money on things she needed and spent money on things she wanted. She called them sparklies or shinies. She also spent more money on food than any three people I know. She had to buy new groceries every day, fresh vegetables, fruit, meat, etc. The blood in the frozen meat was somehow tainted, and meals always revolved around what Jen wanted to eat. There was no planning ahead. Jen would cook whatever she pleased and start thinking about her meal around 10 p.m. Cooking would begin near midnight, and dinner was served in the wee hours of the morning. This appealed to me at the time because I'm not a morning person, and everyone else I'd known ate on a day schedule. It would get old. When my parents went crazy and stopped paying for school, I was ripe for the picking. Jen talked to me frantically about all the bad things that were going on, and somehow managed to make it sound much worse. Her solution, I and my money, should come live with her. I was frantic to get away from my parents, scared, and wanted desperately to live in a place where I was accepted. That place definitely was not with Jen, but I didn't know that then, so I packed all of my belongings into a little red car and drove 4,000 miles cross country to live in Pennsylvania. Ugh. Things went bad from the first day. By the time I'd gotten there, I was scared, freaked out, and very tired. Jen promised me a full week of uninterrupted time to calm down and relax. I arrived at 3 a.m. on the day I told them, to find the house empty and that knocking produced no results. I called the phone, which was busy, so I hunkered down in my car in the sub-freezing temperatures and waited for someone to show up. After a couple of hours, I left my car, knocked at the door again, and then yelled through the mail slot trying to find them. Renee eventually came downstairs and let me in. They had locked the door after Jen and Angel left to spend the night driving around doing nothing. What I would later find was one of their favorite pastimes. Angel's husband used to give her money to pay for gas, but after they spent hundreds of dollars every month, he eventually gave up on it. Angel's husband was treated much the same way as my parents. One day, Jen would be screaming about how she should cut off contact, and the next day asking him for more money. Everything with Jen was about money, magic, or some combination of money and magic. She bought everything for its magical property. Didn't you know everything purple was magical? Anyway, that's the first bit of it, and I'm getting tired and want to go to bed, so I'll finish this later. November 19th, 2005. So where was I? Right, just moved in. Jen had promised that after I had been on the road for days on end, I would be allowed to stay alone in my room for a week and recuperate. But Jen's money senses were tingling, and she dragged me out to buy groceries and all sorts of stuff she didn't need, starting the next day at 10 a.m. Never mind the fact that I had arrived at 3 a.m. Shortly after I moved in, Angel's jealousy went from bad to horrible. She was constantly sulking around, giving me dirty looks, etc. Jen's solution to the jealousy issue was to set up a situation where it looked like Jen was cheating on Angel with me, so Angel would realize it's not that bad. Not only did she come up with this horrible idea without telling me, but she kissed me in public randomly when Angel was driving up in the car, making it look like I had made moves on her. She was really upset, and I think Angel would have gotten violent if it wasn't obvious that I was in such shock as she was. This is a perfect example of how Jen starts drama. I moved in with $17,000 in my bank account, and soon Jen had drained all of that on necessities, all for the house, many of which went into Jen's room and then never came out. Soon I received a check from the investment company for $80,000, and Jen's spending habit began in earnest. I tried to get her to stop spending money on frivolous things but every time I said no or told her she should spend her own money buying things for herself, she threw a fit. All this time, she was telling me how important I was to her special plan, and how the world needed us to stick together so we could conquer evil, etc. I wanted desperately to feel special. I was scared and alone, and I believed her. She knew a few magic tricks, was good at reading people, and could give relatively accurate tarot readings. I fell for her lies, hook, line, and sinker. Finally, I found an idea as how to occupy her time making money instead of spending it. I decided we should open a business. Esoterica Curiosities. Since I supplied all the capital, you'd think it would be in my name. But Angel mailed all the forms without telling me and put the business in Jen and Angel's name exclusively. We were going to open an occult shop in Belafonte. Apparently, there were none of these things in the state college area, but Jen liked the idea of opening an occult shop much more than actually doing it. I think she wanted to collect all the occult stuff more than actually run this business. Jen had some pretty bizarre ideas about what she thinks she is, who she thinks her ancestors are, and what special powers she thinks she has. Jen is a vampire hunter, a term she made of her own definition for, except when she's a vampire herself, and not just any vampire, but a master vampire. Oh, and she was going to be the new vampire slayer, except she got turned into a vampire instead. Oops. She is queen of the fairies that live in our backyard and in our local park. You'd think that being queen would take up all her time, but it seems she also has time to be the incarnation of death. Yes, she believes she is personally responsible for everyone who dies. She must be getting all of this from her time magic, which she can do because she controls the flow of fucking time. She's also the Witch King, and as so has control over legions of dark riders, Lord of the Rings, who do their bidding. She is also a P12 plus telepath, a la Babylon 5, and can read people's minds, and she has many other lives that she lives at the same time as this one, all of which she has special powers and no money issues. So, Jen thinks she is Morrigan Le Fay, who she, incidentally, is also a descendant of, shock, Lara Croft, Integra Helsing, Alucard, Helsing, everyone from the Incredibles cartoon, Arwen from Lord of the Rings, Genova from Final Fantasy VII, also Sephiroth, Cloud, and Zack, also from Final Fantasy VII, Ultimeca from Final Fantasy, who also happens to be her mother, shock, Garnet Steiner from Final Fantasy VIII, it's a spacing error, I thought it was one word. Quite a bit of the cast of Babylon 5, Buffy Summers, Angel, Spike, Drusilla, the Master, Willow, Xander, and anyone else she thinks is cool from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Once again, I need to sleep. We'll write more later. November 19th, 2005. I think I'm going to be selling some of Jen's worthless crap that she left here on eBay, along with a description of what happened to me. I was wondering if I could link your site as well. I'm hoping people will feel sorry for me and pay for more than what the item's worth. For instance, I have a riding crop that Jen broke across Angel's back and then continued to whip her with, leaving huge bleeding gashes across her back. That might sell. November 19th, 2005. I would love to have my experience posted on the site. Actually, I wouldn't mind having the name Mela posted with the author's site, as it isn't my real name. It's just a name everyone calls me, and if people want to bust my ass about it, they're going to have to bust my ass about it. I would also like to write something about what Jen and I experienced at the boarding school, along with a note about my theories about why Jen is the way she is. What Jen and I went through together was much worse than what I put up with from Jen. Also, people need to watch out for Angel as well, as Angel is much more violent than Jen, and as I continue the narrative, you'll see she's definitely a loose cannon. November 19th, 2005. Renee was living with nearly no contact with Jen, except when Jen would cook or yell at her, which I never saw happen for Renee making... Which I never saw happen for Renee making too much noise, by the way. In the entire 2 years I lived with them, I never saw Renee and Jen as a couple. They certainly never had sex. Jen was always with Angel, and Renee would occasionally have sex with Angel, but Jen was always wanted everything on her terms. Not that Renee was completely innocent. I seriously think Renee is more disturbed than Jen. She's just antisocial, so she isn't interested in manipulating people. Not that I mind disturbed. November 19th, 2005. Yeah, you should have seen how much Jen flipped when she found this site. I was actually the one in the house who found it first. I just started laughing because I didn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, some people made a funny site about how they don't like Jen. And she was livid. I wouldn't mind if she harassed me. At least she would be talking to me. Then I could harass her about all the stuff she stole from me. Here's an email I mailed yesterday. Oh, wait, there's a link. Can I open it? Can I read it? Okay. Mela's letter to Jin, Hojo, and Angel. I'll get back to the other thing in a minute. This is the letter Mela sent to them after kicking them out of the house. Renee, I'd really like an answer soon about what you want to do about the computer. I just can't continue to let you use it without either paying me back or making some sort of arrangement. Jin, it is rude to abscond with other people's things and place them in storage where they will get ruined. Anna, it is blatantly wrong to bash someone's head into the floor until they lose consciousness. Jesus, fuck! Until they lose consciousness, whether you mean to or not. How can you accidentally beat someone unconscious? To all, I would like to know which company you are storing things with and which unit you have so I can inform the police. When you come back and we try to sort things out, understand that I will not attack you. I'm not going to touch you. I won't even get close to you. However, I will inform the police at the beginning of the day of your history of violence. If you attack me, I will have witnesses present, and I will have the police department on speed dial. You will go to jail if you attack me. I have to protect myself from the loose cannon and those at the mercy of all the whacked out people in her system. The police won't assume it's not your fault because someone else in my head did it. I may not have a current address or phone number for you. I may not even know what city you're living in, but I do have full names, pictures, date of birth, social security numbers for all of you. That is more than enough information for the police to find you. I have witnesses, I have pictures, I have corroborating evidence. Damn, all I want is for you to have the decency you should have had from the beginning. All I want is my stuff back. I understand you're not living nearby, and I am willing to wait as long as you promise to give me all of my things back. Here's a partial list of the things I can come up with that I want back. Wow, there's a lot. 1. All the stuff I ordered from Franklin Mint. Unicorn crystal ball holders, statues, dolls, hourglasses, Arwen's butterfly brooch, Gladriel's necklace, etc. Everything I ever bought from Franklin Mint. I have receipts for these items that show I was the one who bought them. 2. All the crystals, rocks, and gems I bought for the house, especially the large ones and the ones bought off eBay. This includes Saruman's sphere and the other amber sphere bought with my money. 3. All the stuff Jin and Anna absconded with from the kitchen. This includes the rolling pin. 4. All the metaphysical books that Jin absconded from her room. 5. All the dolls I bought because everyone has a Drusilla that likes dolls. Also the doll that Freya gave Jin. This is me wanting this, not her. 6. All the board games that were absconded with. This includes Monopoly, Lord of the Rings Monopoly, The Risk, Jenga, Candyland, Chutes and Ladders. 7. I want payment from Anna to cover the repair of the door she broke. 8. I want payment from all of you to cover the weeks of cleaning I had to do after you left. The condition you left the third floor that Jin and Anna left in their bedroom, etc., is unacceptable. 9. I want rent payment from Jin and Anna at the rate that they charged everyone else in the house for their time after Jin's grandmother died. Jin was paying nothing into the house. All of her money went to pay Anna's car for several months at a rate of $800 a month for 2 people. This has to be in excess of almost $10,000. Jeez. Jin insisted that everyone else pay their back rent when they didn't pay it while they lived here. She is no different. 10. I want all of the Aishas I bought to sell on eBay in the condition in which I bought them. 11. I want my fabric back. A large quantity of the velvet is gone. 12. I want all my corsets back. They mysteriously disappeared when you left. 13. I want access to the storage unit, and I want to go through everything with all of you present so we can sort out what belongs to whom. 14. I want the furniture I bought back. This includes the small writing desk I bought at the antique shop. Wow, they stole a lot of shit. So let's go back to this. November 19th, 2005. I'd be tempted to take my information and use it to defraud her, but neither of them have any credit. And no, I didn't go to the hospital for it. They threatened to send me to the loony bin for doing it to myself and for writing on the walls in my own house, which was what prompted the head bashing. Jin was always complaining that I went to the hospital too much. I guess more often than her equals too much, because my parents would pay for me to go to the ER whenever I had a migraine, and Jin avoided hospitals at all cost, even when she was bitching and moaning and threatening to go to the ER because she was so being sick. Actually, it was a kind of funny story because Jin apparently has chronically reoccurring mono, aka stay in bed all day and feel sorry for myself-itis. And Jin was not very sick with diarrhea and throwing up everywhere because she's so stressed about being sick, and she kept threatening to go to the hospital ER, hoping that everyone would realize how sick she is. I will agree, she's sick in the head, but this isn't what she was talking about. And I feel sorry for her, or do stuff for her, or something. But anyway, she keeps threatening to go to the ER, and I keep telling her, okay, go to the hospital, get some medicine, feel better, instead of griping about it to me. Everyone is telling her to go, and she's whining about how expensive it will be, and I'll be like, look, you have no income, you pay no taxes. Hospitals have this policy where they have to treat you, and if you have no income, they'll do it for free. That's why people donate money to the hospital. And suddenly she gets this dumb look on her face like I had ruined her plan, and it suddenly dawned on me, I had ruined her plan. Her angle was this. She was sick, very sick, but poor, pitiful Jin was too poor to be able to afford a trip to the hospital in order to save money so that everyone in the house could live and eat and contribute to her shiny collection. She would sacrifice her health. I realized this, and I just looked at her like she was the dumbest person on the planet, which she is about money. Well, the second dumbest, but that's its own story, which I'll tell you if you're interested enough to ask. But yeah, I think she likes being poor. She likes living off of other people's generosity. I think it makes her feel that other people love her, at least enough to pay for her doing nothing. I think every time someone buys her something, it reinforces her feeling of importance. I don't think she realizes it makes people resent her. Like with her teeth, Jin claims she lost 2 teeth as a result of a sword fighting injury. The way she described it, it sounded highly suspicious. Jin intermediately complained of how her completely missing teeth provided her near constant misery. But she only complained after she spent all my money. I don't think Jin ever wanted her teeth fixed. It would eliminate something that she could be the victim of, to hold over Renee's head, and to get to play poor pitiful me about. So Jin had no issue with spending well over $50,000. God damn. $50,000 of my money on frivolous shit, but she claimed it would be uncouth of her to ask me to pay a $225 dental bill to end her constant misery. Also, I can't figure out why it was okay in her mind to go on disability, which she made a half-hearted attempt to, but not to try and get food stamps even when we had no money and no food. I think this has something to do with the fact that in spite of her desire to be poor, she also wanted everyone to think she was rich. She was still the spoiled little rich girl. Food stamps equal bad because poor people get them, and disability equal good because it was the authority saying it's not her fault she couldn't work. Oh, wait, I forgot. She had 3 jobs. Number 1, running the Helsing forum on thehelsing.org, a job which mostly provided her with the opportunity to ridicule people. Number 2, sticking her nose into other people's business in the house. Number 3, helping people wrongly involved with the occult. Yeah, I saw her maybe spend a few hours on this whole time she was here. In spite of what she claims, she never counseled vampires. She thinks she fucking is one. She mostly finds people RPing on the internet and tells them about how drinking blood is bad because you can get diseases and stuff. I will add, number 4, caution this is not a Jin-approved job, playing Neopets, reading Slash, and Incredibles fandom. She definitely spent more than 5 hours a day doing Neopets, Slash, and Incredibles. Oh, and Jess, one of the other roommates of Jin and I, is here. She says hi. She doesn't like Jin either. Can I give her your email? November 19th, 2005. Jin would always get mad because my car always had gas and kept suspecting that I was hiding money. It wasn't that hard to always fill up on the way home from work and never run out of gas, as opposed to always pumping $5 or less. Oh, and the painting on the walls. It was in dry erase marker. Here's a conversation I had with... Oh, there's another link in this. Wow. Underneath this is the... Oh, wow. Pictures of the condition they left the house in when they left. Wow, that is so much trash. Oh, my God. I'll try to... If I don't remember to put them in this... The pictures in this whole thing, seriously look them up. They trashed this poor person's house. That's fucked up. There's a link. Flipping through this link. Maybe this should be another reading. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. This is almost 30 minutes long, and I've been spacing out on a lot of this. I'm sorry about that. But, yeah, this is... we're going to end this episode here. If I forget to put the pictures on this, seriously, you guys, look up this fucking website. It's insane. This is some weird fucking stuff. So, I'll talk to you guys later. I love you all. Like, comment, and subscribe. And also, I have a Patreon if you want to give me $1 for, mining out the weird stuff of the internet to read to you. I'd appreciate it. Okay, bye-bye.